we are bringing you our first ever Dwarf Minds Satanic Summit. I think these three people are satanic, and I think you all would agree with me, okay? Now, first, we've got Liz Gilbert on CBS Mornings with Oprah. Why Oprah is treating CBS Mornings as like her linear home, her linear television home, now that she no longer has her talk show. It's actually really like, I find it humiliating for her. Oprah used to have the number one talk show in the Western world, I think, in syndication. And now she's got to show up on her grubby ass friend Gayle's loser morning show. Gayle is such a loser. I'm sorry, but this woman is a true Nepo baby. She's our first Nepo baby who's actually just the spawn of her platonic best friend who was way more successful and charismatic. I mean, and I say charismatic people can be really dangerous. If you've ever seen Night of the Hunter, Robert Mitchum, charisma for days, satanic. So anyway, so we're sitting with Gayle in her new wig. I think it's a wig, just saying. We got plans for Gayle on Emmy night, by the way. So anyway, the three of them are sitting on the set, and Gayle's going to ask Oprah how she decided to pick Liz Gilbert's new book, in which Liz Gilbert talks about helping her girlfriend break her sobriety of 27 years. And then she's dying of cancer, and the girlfriend decides she's going to stop chemo. And Liz says it was her girlfriend's decision to stop chemo. And I think, why trust a lying liar? Because we know Liz Gilbert's a liar. And I don't trust that Liz Gilbert didn't try to hasten this end, because I think it may have been as dark. Look at this, by the way. I pulled this out. This is the New York Times, one of like multiple pieces they've done on Elizabeth Gilbert in this book. This is from Tuesday's edition. Eat, Pray, Love to Mulling a Murder. And look at that glamour shot. Okay. Art direction and photo editing in pieces, whether they be digital or physical, tell you everything. And what the New York Times is telling you is to feel sorry for and marvel at this attractive, wealthy, white, blonde woman who thought she was plotting to kill her girlfriend, who had become a terrible burden. Liz is going to tell us as much here. And I think this is kind of like a Truman Capote thing where, you know, when Truman Capote was writing what is considered his masterpiece, In Cold Blood, I beg to differ, but that's another segment for another time. You know, he really wanted the subjects of his book, the two murderers, one of whom he fell in love with. They were headed for death, the death penalty. They were headed for their execution, rather. They were on death row. And they had implored Truman to use his money, his clout, his power, his access to famous and wealthy people to get them some sort of reversal or stay. And Truman didn't do it. And he didn't do it because he needed them to die so he could finish the book that he knew was going to be his masterpiece and that was going to make him rich and famous beyond his wildest dreams. And I think Truman Capote was a psychopath. Read Gerard Clark's book, Capote, the biography. Stunning. It reads like a novel. Now, that's what I think. And I think Liz Gilbert is cut from the same exact effing cloth. Okay. But anyway, so here's the setup. It's Gayle and Oprah are facing each other on the vast CBS Mornings set, which is so emblematic of the great nothing that show contains in terms of anything of intellectual value. And then seated center is Liz, the author. Okay. The guest star, the person of the moment. But watch as Liz, it sits there like a bump on a log, sorry to use a cliche, while Gayle and Oprah engage in their love language. Let's go.
Well, it wasn't surprising to me because the moment I started reading All the Way to the River, first of all, I love the title because it's about All the Way to the River represents who will go with you all the way to the river.
Yeah.
And
to your death.
You are one of my all the way to the river.
Say it.
Yes.
Yeah. All the way
I
to
feel the
river
same
friends.
about you too. Yeah.
So Liz is like looking at them back and forth like she's at the US Open. I feel the same way about you too. Oh, you're the one I'll take to the river. I feel the same way about you too. Oh my God, just get down on your knees, Gayle, and let us all see what you were doing in Venice with Oprah. Just tie her effing shoelaces. Just wash her feet like Jesus with the lepers or the poor people. Just wash her fucking feet. You want ratings? That'll get you ratings. Now, a brief detour. Let's look at Oprah and Gayle arm in arm entering the Ralph Lauren fashion show on Wednesday. And then they're sitting together. They're pressed up against each other. They are pressed up against each other. And the song that is playing is a cover of the Bee Gees. Love the Bee Gees. More Than a Woman. More Than a Woman. Again, if you haven't seen the Bee Gees HBO documentary, watch it. It's incredible. And Oprah is mouthing the words like she's in bliss. She's in heaven. She's mouthing the words to more than a woman to me, with her back pressed against Gayle's side. They look like Siamese twins. When I tell you that these people hide in plain sight, that they tell us who they are, trust me, they do. Just saying, just my opinion. Now, back to CBS Mornings. Oprah is going to talk about, this is as direct a paraphrasing as I could possibly give you, how brave it is. Oprah's dark. She's demonic. I think she's demonic. Oprah talks about how brave it is that Elizabeth admits in the pages of a book that she had planned out to the letter how to murder Rayya.
She's so brave, revealing all of these things that we were just talking in the back.
Like what?
Like most of us would have kept to ourselves.
Yes.
like she is helping her partner die and being the caregiver that so many of you are out there. But
talk to Emma Willis.
To the realization that she really wants to kill her.
Yes.
And most people would not admit that I'm taking care of you and it's become so overwhelming that I now actually want to kill you.
No, Elizabeth, you're right. Rayya was addicted to drugs, but you were addicted to people. You talk about a love and sex addiction.
Oh, let's divert our eyeballs.
Yeah.
Liz
first
had
of all,
problems
thank you.
too. Now Liz laughs. Liz with her shaved head and her androgynous Buddha bullshit cult shit. The way Oprah framed that, by the way, there's a difference between I'm taking care of this older person or this very, very sick person whose needs and demands have become so onerous that I could kill them. A colloquial, very human expression. There's a difference between that, Oprah, and a difference between a woman who says, I plan to swap out her chemo meds for fentanyl, which killed, Michael Jackson, which is killing people left and right. People think they're buying cocaine and it's laced with fentanyl and they die, and then when she's knocked out, I'm going to take a pillow and I'm going to put it over her face and I'm going to smother her to death. That's a murder plot. She's a psychopath. And all three of, like, Oprah, you're a psychopath, I think. Gayle, you're a psychopath, I think. I don't think this is funny. And I think you should all really have a lot to answer to for trying to convince the women of the world that they should buy this book and look up to Liz Gilbert. Okay, here's Elizabeth. I think this is from Oprah's podcast. Okay, now we're going over to Oprah's podcast, which our troublemaker just mentioned, which is being held at a Starbucks, which is clearly a sponsor, and they're in green, and green is the color of life. They should be in black. These people they embody death. They embody the worst. So Elizabeth is going to tell us, and again, why we should believe a word this woman has to say. I don't believe it. She's going to tell us that she heard Rayya, her dead girlfriend, talking to her, telling her that not only should Elizabeth write this book, she needed to write this book.
I heard a voice that I knew was Rayya.
And you knew it was Rayya.
I knew it was Rayya.
Rayya's dead by
I
now.
just grabbed this notebook and as trying to keep up with her, started writing down, which is the first chapter of the book, in which she says to me, and at that point she'd been dead for 5.5, 6 years.
Yes.
She said, it's time for you to write this book. It's time for you to tell this story. It's time for you to tell the entire story. Don't hold anything back. Go, in her words, full punk rock with it.
Full punk rock.
Lay it all on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Oprah
protect
saying
my
full
dignity.
punk rock. Kill me now. Okay, this is bullshit. That's Elizabeth talking to herself. You know what happened? I think, because I've read just about all the articles that have come out because I got my eyes on this bitch. She had a novel that wasn't working out. And, she spent all her money and she needs money. And she doesn't have the kind of money where she could go to her publisher and say, this isn't working out. I'm just going to give you back my advance. She had to come up with another book. What is she going to do? She's going to mine this. She's going to mine this. And the idea that this woman would say to her, do not spare, don't worry about my dignity. Don't save my dignity. Just go, quote, full punk rock. I don't know anybody who would say that. I recall my dad died about a year and a half ago. And when my brother and I went to clean out his place, we did a couple of visits. We would find objects, documents, things he had saved. And there would be items where my brother would say, I'm not going to open that. That's private. That's his. And I didn't even have the awareness at the time because I was so sort of overwhelmed with the feeling of being around all of his things and without him there. But I thought to myself, oh, how incredibly decent. Yes, that's right. That's absolutely right. I, on the other hand, as an investigative journalist, I love to know everything, but I was like, no, that's absolutely right. You have to honor your dead and you have to respect them and keep their dignity in death and things that they might not have left out, knowing that they may be found. So, fuck Elizabeth Gilbert. That's my long way of saying fuck this bitch. Now, Oprah's going to talk about again. I'm not even going to set it up. Just listen.
I have to say, considering who you are in the world and the world's impression of who you are in the world, this is the bravest thing I've ever seen. It's just the bravest thing because you could have just kept this story to yourself and allowed people to think that you had eaten and prayed and loved and everything was still just perfectly okay. But instead, as I said, you have opened up your soul in such a way. This book is going to free so many people.
No, it's not. This book has harmed and destroyed Rayya's reputation. It has harmed and destroyed Rayya's friends, from what I've been hearing. It has harmed and destroyed Rayya's family. I believe there's at least one close family member who is not on board with this book. Elizabeth Gilbert is not opening her soul. And you know why, Oprah? Because like you, she doesn't have one. And put away your line about this book freeing people. And by the way, this is the bravest thing you've ever seen. Haven't you interviewed Nelson Mandela? Didn't you interview him? I mean, really, just stop it. Just stop. Now we're going to talk about money, wealth, and Liz is going to try to give another garbage explanation. I think another complete lie as to why she was made a very wealthy woman by her own writings and lost all that money. And keep in mind, she writes in this book, and this is part of it that I do believe is true, she was blowing through her money on street drugs, getting hardcore opiates, putting her girlfriend up in a penthouse apartment in the East Village, buying her all this designer stuff. So, but Elizabeth is going to have an explanation that is going to only redound to her benefit and make her look even more beatific and generous.
I suddenly became really rich, and I had such a low sense of self-worth that I was like,
nope.
Well, this is a karmic accident. I was never supposed to be somebody who was rich. I was supposed to be a starving artist. I can't even hold this money without feeling deeply uncomfortable with it. It's not mine. Like the feeling I had was, it's not mine. It's coming to me, but it's not mine. It's for whoever wants it, which is also how I've always felt about my body.
Wow.
It's not mine.
Creepy.
It's for whoever wants it. So
you opened yourself up to that.
So the incident that you are discussing is
Yes.
that I walked down the streets of my small town in New Jersey and started giving money to people. I started walking into local businesses. It was after 2008, after the stock market crashed. And I was like, oh, these people need. Like wherever there was need, I was like, oh, they need it. And I believe I am a deeply generous person. Yeah. But this was crazy.
Who wanted to kill my girlfriend?
This is crazy. I was walking up to strangers and being
I'm
like,
a generous person too, but I'm not that.
Oprah's not a generous person. She's not. We know this. Maui, wildfires. Hey, why don't you donate? The most recent volcano over in Hawaii, and they said, yeah, you go through Oprah's road. Go look at our nerve. We have video of people who are trying to escape, and they said, Oprah's road is closed. I'm at Oprah's road. Look at it. It's closed. Oprah, lady, open your effing road. It took her 3 hours by all reports. So Oprah, we know you're not generous. And Liz's story is it's another bag of bullshit, because in 2008, that's post Eat, Pray, Love. She's made a ton of money. Julia Roberts has starred in the movie. She's living in a really wealthy area, a really well-off area. How many people you think in her area need money? She's like, I'm just giving my money away. No. I think it went somewhere else. Just my opinion. Now Elizabeth is going to tell us about her belief as to how and why she is transcendent. And guess what? The rest of us are too.
It's extremely uncomfortable being a spirit in human form.
Yes.
I don't personally believe that we come from this planet. I think we visit here. And I think we make this decision to come to what I call and many people call Earth School.
So this is just more slop for her cult. Oprah, sharpen those chops. Okay, you've gotten soft in your dotage with your platonic friend Gayle in Venice, getting your shoelaces tied. Elizabeth Gilbert sits there and says to you, I don't believe we come from this planet. That is some Scientology level stuff. The follow-up, the only follow-up is, Liz, then where do you think we come from? It reminds me of that scene in Annie Hall when Woody Allen goes to visit Annie's family, like in suburban New Jersey. A very young Christopher Walken plays her brother, and he comes up to Woody Allen, who's like up in her bedroom or her childhood bedroom or something. And he starts speaking like he's out of his mind on something. He starts speaking all kinds of gibberish, and Woody Allen's sitting there, and he's taking it all in, and he's completely like, the face is deadpan, and he says, yeah, that's really, really interesting. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm needed back on planet Earth now. That's what I would have said to an Elizabeth Gilbert, and then get off my stage. Okay, anyway, Liz is, the book's not all, you guys. The book's not all. We've got a documentary coming because Liz thought what a great idea it would be. And again, if you have ever cared for anybody who is dying, who is terminal, the last thing you're doing is calling up a documentary crew to record their final inglorious days. But not only did Liz decide to do that, we've got a lot of footage in here of Rayya out of her mind on drugs. And there's nothing more unsettling. Few things, there are plenty of unsettling things, but like to watch somebody out of their mind on drugs as a sober person is profoundly unsettling. But Liz thinks it's great for public consumption. So let's take a little sneak peek at that.
During Rayya's last year of life, award-winning filmmaker Mark J. Francis followed Liz and Rayya through some extraordinary moments of love, loss, and their search for meaning.
I'm just asking for a little grace.
It's Rayya.
A little mercy.
Liz is pretending to be asleep, my opinion.
Please help me.
That's Rayya. Please help me. Now we see her taking pills.
Okay.
I like a chick that likes to keep me drugged up. Yeah, that's me. Little Miss Cotton Socks.
So Rayya says on screen, and she looks out of her mind, I like a chick that loves to keep me drugged up. That's an indictment. You have to wonder how much like Rayya was cogent about what's going on over here. And off screen, Liz is treating it like it's a funny aside. She says, ha ha ha, that's me, Little Miss Cotton Socks. Little Miss Murder on my mind. Let's hear the woman tell us herself. Let's hear it and look at her own words. Let's go.
I say in the book, I'm the nice lady who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and I was going to murder. I was actually going to murder. It was in July of 2017 that I came up with a really good idea for what would save me from the nightmare that I was now trapped in with Rayya. I decided I would kill her.
So how low had it gotten at that point?
That's how low it had gotten.
Wrong question, Oprah.
And I hadn't slept in weeks. I was absolutely in the lowest of my degradation of codependency, enabling, like my life had become sort of Sid and Nancy. You know, just this. I was acting in ways and doing things that I never imagined I could have done. But that wasn't why I was upset. I was upset because she was being mean to me.
So we twist that around to I was at the lowest of my depths of addiction and codependency and enabling and degradation. But by the way, none of those were the real reason I was upset. I was upset because she was being mean to me. And you know what? Oprah sitting there and talking this out as if it's just another therapy session and taking all of this as if it's like valid stuff to be saying, let alone thinking and plotting and about to do. This is the direct result of Oprah's influence on the culture when she was at her height. She birthed and nurtured and fertilized and grew and cultivated and celebrated this culture of malignant narcissism. And the result is we've got a desperate has-been hack writer sitting on that stage using her dead girlfriend's pain and misery to sell her book in which she admits she was about to murder her and had a plan. And Oprah sits there and nods her head and says, how low did that get? Here's a striking fact you might not know. I sure didn't. The number one risk factor for mortality isn't obesity and it isn't heart disease. It's high blood pressure, and 1 in every 2 adults has it. I've had a parent have to take that medication, and high blood pressure then begins to have a domino effect on the body's overall health. But what if there was a way to stop this problem before it even began? Great news. Great news. There is a new natural product that can help you do just that. 120 Life comes in powder and juice form, and it's formulated to not only support healthy blood pressure, it also aids in muscle recovery after workouts, healthy blood flow and liver function, and it is loaded with antioxidants, which are key to suppressing inflammation and the advanced aging that comes along with that. Don't just take my word for it. 120 Life is trusted by over 1,000 health professionals, and people who have tried it love it. Go see the testimonials for yourself over at 120life.com. Why not give it a try? If you don't see measurable, impactful results within 2 weeks, they will give you all your money back. It is 0 risk, all reward, and they are offering a special discount to our troublemakers, 15% off your first order. Just go to 120life.com and use code NERVE, NERVE, to save 15%. You can track your progress with a simple blood pressure monitor and watch your numbers drop and feel the difference. Again, this is a risk-free offer. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, your money gets sent right back to you. Go to 120life.com. That is 120life.com. And remember to use code NERVE to save 15%. This is serious. It's your life we're talking about. And 120 Life can help in simple, delicious, provable ways. Don't wait. Take control of your health today.